ladies and gentlemen. That was the video from Youth for Arctic. So please give a big round of applause for the video. Don't worry, some of the texts are still in Indonesian, but later two Indonesian youth that went to Arctic will explain it in full. So now I think we are going to start the session. We have all the speakers. One more speaker will come because he is now still leading the briefing for a negotiator briefing in the other hall, and he will join us shortly after this. So I would like to introduce myself first. I'm Leah. I work for the Special Envoy for Climate Change, but also I have organized 4 Youth for Climate camps in Indonesia in the last 6 months. So, and I'm grateful to be here today, and we have great young leaders that have been confirmed to come to our Indonesia Pavilion to talk about climate actions done by young people. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to invite the speakers to come to the stage here. The first, please welcome Nesha Ichida, Youth for Arctic. She is one of the Indonesian youth who went to Arctic and then witnessed the ice melting there. And then we also have Kevin Hendrawan, also youth for Arctic. And we also have Jolene Tan, Malaysian youth delegate. So Jolene also Miss Malaysia Earth as well. Yes, Jolene. I think I need to convey that message as well, and then she's her remarks. So please welcome Nur Lastrina.
Hi, good morning everyone. Thank you for coming down to the Indonesian Pavilion this morning, and really thank you to Leah and the Indonesian delegation team for putting together this youth session today. I'm Lastrina from Singapore. Maybe just a quick background. In Singapore, there are a lot of environmental groups and youth groups, but in particular for today, I'm going to focus on one organization which works on climate change issues and youth, and for that, I'll be using the example of 350 Singapore. So a little bit of background about me. I have been volunteering for about 5 years now in various organizations, from local green NGOs to social enterprises. And one of the organizations I volunteer with is this organization called 350 Singapore. So 350 Singapore, it's part of a global movement, 350.org, which is headquartered in the United States. But in Singapore, it's sort of parked under our youth wing of the labour movement in Singapore, which sort of adopted the brand and has been taking care of that organisation since 2010. So the youth wing is called Young NTUC. And for 350 Singapore in particular, as mentioned, it started in March 2010. And it focuses on the raising awareness on the need to lower our carbon level in the atmosphere. So for this session, the focus is on best practices. So for 350 Singapore specifically, our focus, it's two-pronged. So for our youth volunteers, we want to develop them to be change makers. And then for people that we reach out to, we want to be the educational platform for them to know more about climate change. And how do we do this? We use a simple model, it's a pyramid level. So the first level would be to have events, to do outreach events. And then outreach events, I'll be sharing later what kind of activities these are. And then from there we have engagement kind of activities and then nurturing kind of activities. So it's a very simple pyramid model that we follow. So for an example of outreach kind of activities, we do small-scale documentary screenings or public workshops. And we had one on climate change, and one of the trainers that we engage is here, Melissa Loh. She's a researcher at one of the universities in Singapore. And for large-scale outreach events, so large-scale meaning, at one time we can reach out to at least 10,000 people. We do organize the Run 350 event. So Young NTUC professionally organizes that with a vendor. So that we have it for 5 years now already. In terms of closer engagement, we have youth dialogues and youth workshops. So youth workshops, we try to have one flagship workshop per year. So we had a Singapore Power Shift workshop in 2014 and recently the ASEAN Power Shift workshop in 2015. And from there, because we see, there are youths interested in climate change issues, people come back to be more involved. So on our side, we identify these youths and we leverage on the programs provided by the youth wing of the Labour movement, and we then sort of develop the youths by leveraging on the youth wing programs. So some of the programs that we do get involved with are like dialogues with our Ministry of Health, Ministry of Manpower, activities which may not be have been accessible to everyone. So how does all this add up? So the learning points for me, it was a personal journey of volunteering and interning, and it was a self-discovery phase where I found out that as a young person I can influence more people and create opportunities for changes if I want to. And on the larger scale of things, it sort of showed me how we can join forces with other youths. So not just in our own country, but also in other countries, creating the future we want. So in terms of international movement, one of the, movements that all youths can join in, specifically for COP, is by joining the youth constituency Yango. So if you're interested in this, you can check it out too. And I'm ending my presentation with a quote from Ban Ki-moon from a speech he made in 2013 where he said, "We believe that youth is a driving force for change." And that is something I believe all of us here are doing every single day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lastrina. So, Lastrina was also delivering a speech, yesterday in the high-level segment that was amazing. So, the speech was in online and going viral. So, and we're so glad to have her here today with us. And then for the next speaker, I would like to ask Jolene and Jonathan from Malaysia Youth Delegate. Please welcome Jolene.
Hi, good morning to Excellencies of Indonesia and global citizens. This one is funny. To the panel speakers and to everyone. My name is Jolie. I'm from Malaysia. So today I'm just going to give you a brief talk about youth actions on climate change in Malaysia. So before that, I'm just going to give a short introductions about myself. I am a graduate student in environmental science, and in between I do participate in youth pageant because I like entertainment industry. But it doesn't end there because I wanted to get in touch with community to learn about environmental activities in Malaysia. So that's why I participated in the beauty pageant. Even though I was one of the runner-up, one of the crown winner, I decided to continue my journey and involved in working with NGOs. And so I'm going to talk about these two initiatives that I've been involved in. One is called Power Shift Malaysia, another is called Malaysian Youth Delegation. Basically, these two initiatives is more highly involved with youth and climate change. We do have a lot of environmental NGOs in Malaysia. And Power Shift Malaysia, what's the difference between these two? Is basically, Power Shift Malaysia is more involved with the grassroots level, and is where people will create like climate leadership camp, workshops, talks, and film screenings. And whereas Malaysian Youth Delegations is more involving and people preparing a group of students and youth to, train them up to prepare them to COP and to get involved with the climate actions and policy tracking in COP. So this is what happened in Powership Malaysia. We started this off since 2013, and we basically try to organize this in different areas in Malaysia. So we had 2013 had it in Langkawi, and the other one we had it in Perak, and also in somewhere in Rabak, in Selangor. And this is where we also actually had a film screening in Malaysia, which is under Powership, and we also participated in Global Divestment Day. It's a film screening which was screened in Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, and other areas. And we do have like participating in climate change video screening and also roundtable discussions on fossil fuel subsidies, which we managed to actually urge the government to remove some of the subsidies on fossil fuel in Malaysia. And we do have like some casual discussions on climate. We have a technique basically with people in the community. And also we try to convey our message through the media. So we have like radio interviews and also writing on the articles to publish it to the newspaper. And we also endorse in other NGO statement on climate actions or any environmental movements. So let me talk a little bit more about Malaysian Youth Delegation because I'm much more involved in this. And this is pretty much a baby initiative which was started in June. And we basically have like 6 delegates which are already here, was selected to be here. And